they're trying to combat, assault, all kinds of stuff. So I just don't understand if he even believed that, he wouldn't be saying it on the phone, because now there's never a chance. I promise you, there's never a chance. They already know he's got a big mouth. They're not going to take a chance and let him get away with something like that. Never.
Oh yeah, because then they'll be right in jail alongside him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just mind blowing to me. Before this whole situation, I didn't know anything about, that you could get these calls and you could get this and I didn't know that was a thing. But I think it's opened a lot of people's eyes, though. And I think it's going to become a bigger thing, that people start getting all these jail calls and all that, because there's just so much. It's packed with information. There's so much shit you learn from these calls. I don't know.
There's a woman in here, Angel Petal. She says she's a nurse practitioner in Idaho, and she works in the prison D row, and life hurts. She said, no way he can do that. So yeah, like you said, if you probably were quiet and probably not on D row and probably didn't try to escape prison and try to smuggle things in, you probably had some opportunities. I'm sure he still has a little bit of things. Someone, but not at the hand. It's just the guards turning their head for a quick second. They ain't going to be bringing somebody else where he could potentially put somebody at risk, because then that's all, everybody's in trouble, so it's going to be Yeah, I'm sure he's able to get a phone or, get some.
He would have been able to, but now they're looking for that too, because,
I was going to say, did you hear that call though, where he was like, oh, I was looking, he slipped up himself saying that he was checking a post. Like, how are you checking a post? Well, unless he jailbroke his tablet,
Well, and that's a thing too, but you got to understand, this is these couple hundred inmates that are on death row. That is it. There is no higher security level than that. And there's cameras now. A lot of people down here, a lot of people had been murdered, in prison by guards. I mean, it used to be a very dangerous place. And that's changed because now there's cameras everywhere. If they use force on you before they can even touch you, they have to have a camcorder. They're videoing everything. So, they may risk their ass a little bit to make a little extra money with some other stuff, but there is no way in that situation with somebody like that any of these guards are going to risk their ass or their benefits or any of that for somebody like that.
You mean 48 hours in a trailer with FYJ?
No, that's not a thing in Florida, and it doesn't matter if you're married or not. So, that's not happening. But that's just part of the game. That's giving these women a little bit of hope. And if you really think about it, though, he says it to so many of them. So what that tells me is that's what it's about for a lot of these women.
They think there's a chance.
Yeah. Oh, so I get on your visitor list and oh man, this is going to be great. We can slide off in the mop closet. No, but that's what it's about. It's not about, I haven't heard one of these people say anything about you being a better person. Never. It's just a lustful, just disgusting situation. It really is. And it's about that because he says it to all of them. So they've obviously talked about it, and that's what they're hoping for. And that in itself is absolutely crazy. I mean, if that did happen and you got pregnant, then what? I mean, you're accepting to raise this kid by yourself, and this kid's father, he was conceived in prison. And I mean, if you really break it all down, it's mind blowing. It's a sickness with some of these people. We gotta tell these
girls straight up, because Rose has faced it firsthand. They ain't gonna help you, even if he is locked up. You're still gonna be doing it on your own. The government won't even help.
Yeah, for sure.
Angel says that their officers have to have body cams on at all times. They cannot be turned off. She has one on her as well. That's crazy.
Yeah. And listen, I got out in '07, so that's 17 years ago. There's a lot of stuff that's changed. I do stay in touch with a buddy that worked for me for years, and he ended up getting locked up. And so I try to be there for him and help him out. And he tells me all about the tablets and all. That's all new, that wasn't a thing back then. But I don't know. Maybe they do. I wouldn't doubt if they have to wear body cams in Florida. I don't know for sure. I can find out, but.
Does he sound like different to you too? Like a lot of people were asking, just do you think that he sounds like different than from when you were talking? Besides the stupid conversations, just like in general, like how he laughs, how he talks, like in general, is it like totally not him anymore?
I have 100% never heard that stupid laugh. I mean, it's almost manic. That's what it sounds like to me.
It does sound like that.
I can pick up on a lot of stuff in these calls based on his voice. I can tell when he's totally not paying attention to somebody and he's scrolling through messages on his tablet. I can tell when he's just trying to shut somebody up and say whatever the hell, But there's so many new things. If you go back to when, our phone calls were in I think like the first week and a half, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it was, you can tell the different tone in his voice, the way he talked, the way all that. And that's the normal him, sober, normal him. All this is all just part of the game now. Back then he didn't have it. He said that on one of the calls the other day. I didn't have nobody. I went years with nobody, nobody sending me money, no, all these message requests and all that. This is all just, this is what's crazy. And that's why I said what I said about he's the puppet master from the jail, pulling everybody's strings, because he wasn't doing that before, but he is now, because like I said, the two things in life that he really has cared about as an adult that I know of, money and women. And it's not money like I'm out hustling, making money on the street. Not that kind of money.
Yeah.
I'm always in and out of jail and I need somebody to take care of me. That kind of money. Mm-hmm. And I've explained to him, maybe when you're out and you're taking care of other people you say you care about, when the time comes and you do get locked up, those people are going to kind of pay you back because they know what kind of person you are. He didn't have that because everybody that's, known him for any length of time, he shit on them, taken advantage of them, done all that. So it's definitely a different him, but it's simply because he's got unlimited funds. He's got somebody doing stupid shit for him out there, and he's got unlimited women reaching out, letting him do and say anything he wants to them. And he knows they're not going nowhere. And if they do, I got 50 more right behind them. So it's sad. That's what bothers me the most about everything.
Well, that's the thing, too, is that I've noticed when he's telling these girls, he's like, listen, I just pay these guards a little, like some money, and they're going to, so it's like now he's going to use that as like, hey, I got to get a couple thousand so we can have this visit. He's going to use that to be able to get more money sent to him, and it'll probably go to somebody. He's definitely a master manipulator. He knows how to do it, and he knows how to work the system. He's like, okay, you send it to this guy, give it to this guy's girlfriend, and then she'll bring it to him. And it's just so crazy to me. Like, how when he doesn't he doesn't get to interact with people besides through a cell. So what is he yelling across the way like, hey, Sam, can you, I just don't, I mean, I've never been on D-Row, so I don't know how it works. So, I'm sure there's ways, and there's, especially when you have money to drop to people to get things done. But it's just how do you even strike up that conversation? They don't even know you, Yeah. They just find out he has money. I wanted on a deep dive. I'm about to reach out in the kiosk to a cellmate next to him and be like, so how does he talk to people? What did you think about the Patreon calls while you sat in the cell next to him? I gotta know.
Well, if you think about it like this, most prisons, the officers get assigned to certain cell blocks or dorms or whatever, and that's just their post when they're working. It may be for a year, it may be for 5 years, and it's like that on death row because these guards, they're a little different than the general population guards. So when they get assigned this area, they're typically there for maybe their whole career, you know? And you strike up friendships. I mean, if you're that kind of inmate who they know doesn't cause problems, doesn't do stupid shit that's going to bring heat to everybody, you know, they kind of trust you a little more. You're not that problem that they have to deal with and make their job hard. So those things do happen. I mean, you form relationships with these people, and you'd be surprised. I mean, a lot of things happen. But I wanted to say this too before I forget. At this point of everything, I really felt bad for a lot of these women. And that's one of the reasons why I did have a lot of grace and patience and forgiveness, understanding, whatever you want to call it, with a lot of these girls. But at this point, if you are still choosing to, you know, be in touch with him and feeding this kind of game he's playing, I have zero sympathy for you at this point, because you've been warned. There's been proof. There's been video. There's been audio. There's been everything. And if at this point you're still caught up in that or thinking about reaching out, you deserve everything that happens to you. And that's just how I feel. You know, he's going to drain you dry. I promise you.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said with everything out now and all these calls, it's like, come on now. He just went on a global world tour, and then they're over here like, I thought I was the one. Like, and now. Girl, that the more recent one where he was talking about how many stabbings he had on his record.
Yeah.
Is there truth to that?
Let me give you an example. There's in Florida, you know, you've got general population, you've got, if you mess up, you got confinement, AC confinement, DC confinement. You know, DC confinement's disciplinary confinement. And then there's a step above that, which is CM. They call it close management. That CM1 is 6 months, and you're with somebody. You have a cell partner. You're locked down for 6 months. I think it's 6 months to a year. CM2 is a year to up to 5 years. CM1, minimum 5 years behind a door in a one-man cell. And to get CM1, I was on CM1 when I was released. I was released from CM1. I had somebody come after me with a weapon, and I managed to take the weapon from the person and went after them. And when I did that, the rec officers saw me. So they automatically felt like I was the aggressor in that. They didn't care what I said, you know, because I did hit the guy, but I was accused of being the aggressor. They locked me up. I went before the CM board. They transferred me, and I went straight to CM1. That was just for an assault. That wasn't for stabbing somebody. If you got caught stabbing somebody, you're done. They're not just going to lock you up for a few weeks and then cut you loose. You're going to CM. That's just how it goes. So, I mean, anybody that has done any time knows that. You're not going to have 2 recorded stabbings and be in general population. It's just not going to happen. You're through minimum 5 years in Florida. So it's just
7 times.
Yeah. Was it 7 or 10?
Oh, he said 10. Dang,
I think
10.
he said 10. Yeah, I think he said 10. And I remember even my wife looked at me like with this like face, like, really? Because she knows she's ridden through it with me. So she knows, you know, and that just, but he can use that on people that don't know any better. They don't have a clue. They'll believe it. Oh, he sounds so tough. Come on. That's just not facts.
I mean, I wouldn't think that. I'm like, one, if just, because I'm very uneducated when it comes to the prison system, because thankfully I've never made it there. It's not one of my choice positions, especially nowadays. So I don't think I'm going to do that. But I like to learn a little bit about it just so I have a knowledge, because I don't know how it works. I've never been locked up like that. I've only been in I think the longest I stayed was like a week, and it was just general, and it was, it's kind of like a party. I saw 3 of my friends in there. It wasn't a bad time, honestly. It was just like an inconvenience, but it wasn't like terrible. So I didn't ever do the prison time, so I don't know what that's like. So I'm like, I always like to pick people's brains that have been there, because like, what is this guy saying? But if someone was bragging to me, and I don't know, I'm uneducated to that area besides what I see on TV or what I've seen on shows, but that's still like not fully reality, right? And I just, like, if someone was bragging to me about it, and I'm like, okay, you've already are in here for unaliving 2 women brutally, and then you have a whole history of that, and then you're saying that. I was like, oh, cool. Please, let's get 48 hours alone together. Do you just not want to be alive anymore? Is that their goals? Like, I just don't understand why they would think they're an exception. I just don't understand that part.
Well, it's like you teach your kids, or I taught my kids. I've taught my kids that the biggest, loudest one that boasts and brags about what they have or what they do or what they've been through and all that, that's their defense mechanism. They're saying all that because they're trying to impress you, and they're trying to maybe put a little fear in you. It's the ones that don't talk about that. Those are the ones you have to worry about. Those are the ones that they might really live that way. That's part of his character. That's just, like I said before, he tries to put on that front because he's so insecure about himself, being such a big guy and just not having that spirit about him to kind of get crazy if he had to. That's just not who he is. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's all stories.
How terrible is the food in prison? Is it really, really that bad where that's why he only wants to eat commissary stuff? Like, can you? Is it?
If you are broke and have nothing, you're choosing to have nothing. They used to do like sausage on Friday night or baked chicken with some rice. It's got all the nutrients you need. Because they give you a good calorie diet, but it's just bland. It's not like you're eating for the taste. You're just kind of eating to survive.
Did you concoct stuff in there, like in the commissary at all? Like, did you buy stuff and like? Because I see these people like making weird stuff with ramen and they're just making like these crazy things. Did you do that too?
Absolutely. I still do it to this day. My kids
So you still eat certain things that you used to eat while locked up?
Man, I will make a goulash that will feed the neighborhood, and just out of shit ramens and chips and, just the worst, fattiest, sodium-filled shit. But yeah, my kids will ask for it. Man, Dad, let's make a goulash, and we'll throw down, You get real creative. I promise you, you get real creative.
Yeah, I was actually watching this girl that she does she shows a lot of things of like how to like make makeup out of like pencils, and she does all this crazy stuff that she makes it. And so she was showing like different food things, and I'm like, what? Like, use it like I didn't know you guys get like there's a lot of food lists on there. When I was looking at the commissary, I was like, oh wow, you eat spam and all this crap. Like, the hell?
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better. Florida, you can't buy tobacco anymore. I guess on death row you can, but you can't buy cigarettes or dip or any of that. But just try this next time. Take a pack of peanut M&Ms. I don't know how many colors are in there. There's several, I guess. What they used to do is take whatever color eyeshadow they would want. They would just take that color, lick the peanut M&M, and then do their makeup. You know,
I'll have to do a live where I'm like using M&M.
it transfers well. So
I would never think to do that kind of stuff. But I mean, I guess you get resourceful, right? When you're trying to look nice inside of there for whoever knows what.
I've always said that some of the most talented, creative, good people I met in prison. I mean, you talk about artists, people that do crafts, you know, make furniture, just the most creative things you would ever imagine. Most of them, the creative ones, most of them are addicts, you know, and they get out, they can't stay off dope, and they go back, you know, and get sober, and they do that dance until they either die or until they want to make a change. But there's some very creative people locked up.
Do you have any other friends that you were locked up with that you're still friends with today besides the one guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't have friends. You know, I don't go hang out. I don't, you know, I go to work, I come home. That's just what I do. And that's how I've been able to change my life. But one of my, I would say he's probably my best friend. He's 70. I don't know. I think he's like 76, 77, but I met him in prison, and we were in side by side cells, and he was just a good dude. And he always talked about Alaska. He was a contractor in Panama City Beach, and he built, you know, high rises, built, you know, condos, big stuff, made a lot of money, but he was a bad alcoholic. And but everybody knew him. So he would get a DUI. They would take him home, you know. On his fifth DUI, he was driving to a bar, and there was a 19-year-old kid walking down the side of the road, heading to the same bar. He had just finished like basic training, and he was home for a couple weeks, you know. And my buddy ran him over, and he killed him. You know, and he couldn't get out of that. So I think they gave him 15 years, and, you know, he lost his business. He lost all his equipment. He lost everything. They weren't married at that time, but she stuck by him. And when he got out, they bought a cabin up in Alaska, and that's where he lives now. We stayed in touch. You know, he got out a few years before me, but he stayed in touch with me. And when I got out, you know, we got together. Him and his wife at the time came down, and we all hung out. And they moved to Alaska. 2 years later, she was diagnosed with cancer, and she died a month later. You know, it was sudden. So now I've got somebody that I would die for, who is like an hour and a half outside of Anchorage in a cabin with dogs, by himself. He's drinking himself to death right now. You know, he misses his wife. He has nobody up there, and just one of the best men I've ever met in my life. Would do anything for me. And I'm stuck. I'm like, damn, I feel like I need to go up there. He won't move back down here. He can't never drive again. So, you know, up there he can ride, you know, snowmobiles and side by sides on the road. They're allowed to do that. Or off the road, they have trails, you know. So he's like, the only thing keeping me alive is my dogs. And 2-3 times a week, you know, I sit on the phone with him for sometimes hours and just listen to him cry, you know, because he's by himself. He's alone. You know, I'm like all he has, you know, and he's really like my only true, you know, friend that I can relate to just based on our past. And, Melanie's like, you got to go up there. You got to go up there. You got to go up there. And I'm like, babe, first of all, I can't make this man do anything. I can't make him pack this whole property up and He still owns a house in Panama City Beach. And it just sits there empty because that was her house. And he's like, I can't never get rid of that. So, you know, I'm torn with that, but that's just part of life. He knows what he needs to do. He's got to stop drinking. He knows that. But, you know, great person, made a mistake. You know, I mean, he made 5 mistakes, but on the 5th one, he killed somebody. So, you know.
Well, and I'm sure a person like that already has it, I'm sure that's a big factor too, because it sounds like it's his big heart. I'm sure that's hard to live with as well, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And you don't fly, right? Because that's what's stopping you? You're not a flyer?
No. Or, you know, whatever. I needed to get on the damn plane, I'd get on the plane. But if I'm not just jumping on a plane to go, you know, go see a baby. I know they're coming down here soon because they want to go to the beach and do all that. So I'm going to see the baby when they fly down here with the baby.
You said to go see a baby.
and I can't really miss work. You know what I mean? I can't. I missed all the damn work with the storms and stuff. So I just can't really miss work for that. But, you know.
That's true. Your wife looks like she's having
ever. So she was, her and Stevie were very upset about that, you know, not being able to see them. So last night when I was driving them to the airport, Melanie was just like real short, you know, she was yippy, you know, everything we said, you could tell she was super stressed out. And I think the part of it was, you know, until she was on that plane in the air, you know, she was just worried. And Stevie looked at her and said, Mom, what is wrong with you? Like, you are just being short, you know, and I could see it in her face. She processed it that fast, like, oh shit, I kind of am, you know, I know why I am. And, you know, she pulled out of it, but I don't know. They'll be down here soon. I'll see the baby then and everything will be all right.
Yeah, they're kind of boring when they're babies right now at this stage anyways, just cry and poop, so, you know.
Not much to them right now.
No, he'll be fun a little bit sooner. Like when you guys can go to the beach and they can actually do something, like he's walking around and stuff, so it'll be a little bit more entertaining. But I'm sure your wife is soaking it all up right now.
Oh, she's that person that will like hold any baby. Like, here, I'll take the baby. Give me the baby. You know, where I'm like, damn, I don't want to drop the baby. So I don't really offer much, you know. I love holding kids. I love kids, but she's just that natural. She would have kids until she died if she could, you know.
You
she
say, hell no.
Nope. We're good. So
yeah, I saw that. I was looking at Stevie and I'm like, because she was telling me all about his haircut. I was on the phone with her and she was going to, like, she's like, I'm taking him to go get a haircut after she fought with him to wake up 75 times. And then I'm like, what the hell, Mel? I thought you took him to get a haircut. She's like, that is cut. I'm like, the kid can't even see. How is he seeing right now?
Listen,
these kids these days, man.
Yeah, and I'm the type like, oh, you want those yellow shoes over there? Okay, cool. You want a mohawk? Okay, cool. You know, I don't say nothing about nothing. I try to let them be who they're going to be and work it all out themselves. But there is one thing I cannot stand, and that is his hair. And he knows it. And I tell him, I will pay you to cut your hair. I don't like it. It covers his eyes. You know, he lets it hang down in his eyes. And I think he's got beautiful eyes, you know, and I like to see his face when I'm talking to him. And we spent $40 on that piece of crap haircut. And it doesn't even look cut. I said, what the hell did you do?
What'd you waste money on?
Yeah. I asked him,
imagine what it looked like before. I'm like, oh, dang.
To be honest, it doesn't look much different.
That's crazy.
I mean, it doesn't look
It's
much
the
different.
style though, because even my kid's boyfriend came over the other day and I was like, what's up with your hair? I just said it like that. Like, what's up with your hair? I can't even see your face. Like, you have eyeballs? How are you walking? I was just asking him like, hey, I'm not trying to judge, but I'm real curious how you're driving that car with my kid in it when you can't even like see through the hair. I can't see your eyes. So that's really disturbing for me. He's like, oh, I can see. I'm like, what? Through the cracks of hair that I can't even see that you can see. Like,
Well, yeah,
what's the style? It was never cool.
He's got his permit right now, so he knows when he's driving, he like kicks his head back so his hair goes back and gets out of his eyes. But he's that boy that I take him to school in the mornings, so I fight to get him up. He gets up 10 minutes till we got to go, and then brushes his teeth, gets ready, and then he tries to walk out of the house with this nest of just madness on top of his hair, on top of his head. And I'm like, no, you got to do something with your hair. Like, you are a reflection of us as parents, and you are making us look bad. As a unit, we look bad because they know you just rolled out of bed. You didn't even put a comb through it, nothing. But he doesn't care. I don't get it. When I was that age, I cared what I looked like.
Yeah, I think I was like, times have changed because like even like it was like guys and girls, they all cared about what they were looking like before they did anything. Like my kid was like that too. She just took her junior pictures and she wanted them, so she's like, yeah, can you buy this package? So of course I paid the money, and I'm like, did you brush your hair? You knew it was picture day. Like, yeah, like where's the outfit that I told you that like we got for you to wear? Like, what are you wearing? Right? I mean, I won't get mad because she was wearing a Nirvana shirt, but still, like, girl, like this is your yearbook photo. Like, what are you doing? You brush your hair at least, like.
Well, I watch these kids. He's in high school, and I watch. Sometimes I'll take him and he'll jump on the bus by our old house, or sometimes I just take him to the school. But I watch all these kids, and they just look like zombies. They all have sweatshirts on, and I'm like, it's 90 degrees at 6:30 in the morning in Florida, and they all have hoodies on, and they're just like shuffling like zombies. They don't care what their hair looks like. They don't care what they're wearing. They don't care if they sweat all day. I mean, it's just the times are different. Everything is. Well,
that's how my kids are. They're in the summertime, they're wearing hoodies and sweats and stuff, and then they're complaining that they're hot. And then in the wintertime, it's freaking -6 with like snowing, and I'm not wearing a jacket. They're gonna make fun of me. I'm like, it's like windshield. You're gonna freeze to death outside, and they're like, no, you can't wear a jacket anymore. Like, you get made fun of. Like, you get made fun of for being warm. Like, I just don't understand the logic while you're shivering there. And then my kid, can I wear your jacket? Well, nope. I told your dumbass to bring a jacket, and so now you're gonna freeze because this is what you wanted. Remember, you chose this life. Like, what the hell?
That's so true.
I can't. It really is. I'm like, well, I remember being a teenager and being like rebellious, or like my parents didn't know anything and I knew everything. I get it. But it's like, okay, now you're just throwing logic right out the window here. It doesn't even make sense. And I'm quite embarrassed as it's 96 degrees and you're in a full sweatsuit. Like, and people are just staring at us. Like, I think people are just like, they're thinking something's wrong with you. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I told Melanie, I don't know if I was growing up as a teenager right now, if I don't think I could do it. I don't think I would. It is so hard. And I know firsthand with my son, he's a big kid. And when I tell you these kids will make fun of each other for everything. I mean, hairlines, but they call each other big backs. I mean, what the hell is a big back? But as a parent, I have been so close to dealing with kids' fathers because of how their kids act. And I feel bad for these kids. I have a lot of sympathy for even middle school. Elementary, I think it's probably the same. But high school, man, they will beat each other down. They will beat each other's self-esteem into the ground. And
Does it affect him though? Or is he just like that? He brushes it off.
oh, it bothers him. There's
Yeah.
things that bother him, but he knows, we'll sit down, we have a lot of time to talk, and we'll just talk about stuff. And, I've always said they can say what they want to say, son, as long as they don't put their hands on you, and he knows he has 100% my support to defend himself. And he knows if you can't do it, I can help you. And I think because of that, because he's got strong parents, who've dealt with their own shit, he knows, we can talk about it, and we're going to give them reasonable advice. You can't teach these kids now, hey, go tell someone, go tell a teacher. You can't do that, because now they're just going to make fun of you for being a snitch. Now you're a snitch. Now you're a snitch. So it's a no-win. It's really a no-win situation for these kids. And a lot of times, like with my son, he's like, Dad, can we just leave it alone? I'm ready to go to war. And he's like, let's just leave it alone, Dad. It'll get better. And, he really, he deals with it better than I ever could deal with that kind of stuff.
Well, it's such weird times now too, because it's not like when we were like kids and our parents would go down to school or stuff. Like now, like my kid was getting bullied to the point of like I was literally worried for her, like because she went into a deep depression where I couldn't even get her she wouldn't want to eat, she didn't want to get out of her room, and then I ended up deep diving and finding out through her friends that there was like one specific girl that was just really nasty, and she just didn't want to talk about it because she didn't want to make problems, she didn't want to be a snitch. So she stayed quiet, and so I talked to the school about it because I'm like, I don't want my kid. I'm not going to mention any names here, but what are we doing here? Like, and she's like, well, you'd have to tell me the kid's name. And I was like, are you going to call the parent so I could talk to the parent? Because I want to talk to the parent, and they won't even let you do that anymore. They will not let the parent come down to the school and you and the parent have a conversation because they said, we can't do that before, like, we would need some sort of police mediator, and they won't do that. Like, why? Why does it have to be violent? I literally just want to know how we resolve an issue before my kid ends up hurting herself because this kid's an asshole. So then it got to that point where I'm trying to think of everything without causing conflict for her. I'm teaching her how to fight in the yard. I'm like, okay, so like somebody, don't let her push you. She puts her hands on you. You solve that. And it was a battle where it's like, what's the right thing to do in this situation? Because I've tried everything without being like, okay, I'm gonna like go snitch her out, and then now nothing happens. My kid's got to go still sit in the same class with her, and now everybody's making fun of her for it. It's a worse situation, so you don't want that. I know. Even when we were kids, snitches get stitches. You never did that stuff. So I get it, but then it was funny because I was like, well, you could have picked the wrong mom because I found that kid, I found her grandma, I found the mom, showed up at the door, and I said, if your kid bullies my kid one more time and I find out about it, I'm going to be here every damn day of your life and I'm going to bully you. She's like, I got fibromyalgia and I don't like, that is your threat. I'm like, well, tell your kid because I'm not playing around and my kid is not going to go to school and say anything. So I'm just going to react to you. Since you don't know how to control your kid, I don't know how to control myself. So you tell me which one is better. And it was funny because the girl kind of left her alone for a little while. And then when in front of her friends, my kid just clocked her. Then the school calls me and I'm like, well, I told you to keep an eye on her. She's like, you should have said her name. And I'm like, what would you have done? It still would have happened at the end of the day. So I'll take my kid out right now. We're going to go out to eat. I'm going to get her whatever she wants. We're going to go celebrate because she finally defended herself and no one bothered her ever again. But she did get like a 3-day suspension, which is messed up because my kid wasn't the aggressor, but because she still defended herself, it was a problem. And I'm like, so we just let kids just get bullied and get like picked on and get beat up. And then when they react, they're in trouble too. That doesn't even make logical sense. Like, where the hell are these people allowing this to happen then? You got to be having more people or more resources if you're going to do that kind of stuff.
Well, the way I always deep dive into stuff. And if you think about, you know your kid. We all know our kids. If you're a good parent, you know your kid. And you know if your kid has that personality to kind of be that bossy bully type, you know that.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't fix it, that's on you. But we're responsible for our kids until they are 18 years old. So how I look at it, if there's this kid who's constantly just targeting my child or other kids or whatever, I feel like as their parent who's responsible, I'm going to deal directly with them because they're obviously not doing their job, or they're scared of their kid. There's a lot of parents that are scared of their kids. And I get that. Some kids are outrageously mean or whatever, but
you can't hit your kid. You can't yell at your kid. You can't do anything to your kid because then now the DCF comes, the cops come. Like they teach these kids, if this happens, you can't talk. They told my daughter that she can't. It's emotional abuse because I yelled at her and I was like, clean your fucking room. If I say clean your room, she ain't cleaning her room. I drop a couple F-bombs. You best believe that room's getting clean. And the teacher tells me, you can't do that. That's emotional abuse. You don't know what the impact that's going to have on her future. I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. Like, that's a crazy. So I don't get to punish my kid at all. So I got to pay for them, and I can't like do any sort of punishment. That doesn't even make sense. So these kids now take advantage. These badass kids now get to walk all over their parents. Their parents are actually like scared of their kids, and they have no control whatsoever. And it's like, oh yeah, okay. That's not going to happen. I tell my kids and instill them every day, especially because they're teenagers and they got emotions and hormones and they act crazy. I will go to jail. Try me, because I will drop you real quick and teach you a very valuable lesson. Probably be the best night's sleep I've had in a while because no one will bother me. So, try me. So I'm not going to, I told that too. Like no one's going to tell me how to raise my kid. My kids are good kids, but they will take advantage of that situation if they feel like you can use that as an upper hand. Like, you can't touch me because then you'll go to jail. Like, oh, try me, kid.
Yeah, I'll tell you how brazen these kids are. We went to last year. We went to a football game at a different school. It's a real well-known school for their football. So we went, and a lot of kids from my son's school go to that school or go to those games. And so just him and I went. We're watching the game, minding our own business. We're up at like almost the top of the bleachers. And, I'm a very observant person. I'm always watching everybody, everything. I'm everywhere. I should be watching the game, but I'm everywhere else. So I already saw this group of kids. And they were kind of glancing up at us. And my son, he's watching the game. He's not even paying attention to any of this. And these brave little badass kids came and sat like 3 or 4 rows in front of us. And every now and then they'd look back and laugh or whatever. So I'm already ready to like do some Jackie Chan shit off the top damn thing, I know my body can't handle that, but I was ready. So one of these little punks literally got up, walked down to the stairs, and then walked up to our row and then came over and stood right next to my son. And I honestly don't even remember what he said. It wasn't anything too crazy, but I know it pissed my son off and it really pissed me off. And it was everything I had to not put my hands on this kid, but I stood up and I looked at this kid and I said, you better turn around and you better walk away. And all of his little friends, they all had their phones out. They want to record everything now and post it online. They all had their phones out. And as soon as his little coward ass turned around and tucked his tail, they all put their phones down, got up and walked away. I can handle it as an adult, but these kids, man, I think of it from my son's point of view. He probably was embarrassed, not because of what this punk kid said, but because he said it in front of his dad. Mm-hmm. That probably hurt him and embarrassed him. Like, damn, this is my dad, and he's going through, he's got hormones and emotions and all that at this age, so his mind's already going crazy. But I could not believe when I was that age, I would have never thought about if I had a problem with somebody and I saw that person with their parents or parent, I wouldn't have even thought twice. I'm not even getting close to that. I would never come up and say something slick like that. But that's these kids now. Like, they are on another level.
It is true. It starts pissing me off, though. That's why I said I will hit a little kid. Try me. Like, these kids want to act grown. We go see how grown you really are, because I've seen that too. It's just like so bad. And even like when my kids tell me, see, my kids, I don't know what you guys have in Florida, but we have yonder pouches. So my kids have to carry this pouch with them, and they have to drop their phone in the pouch and click it. So the second they walk into school, someone watches their phone get put into a bag, and they know that you have a phone. So if you don't have a phone, say like my kid forgot her phone at home, I have to call the school or write a letter stating that she forgot her phone, or else now there's consequences because they know you have a phone. But they watch you put it in there and it locks. And then when you leave for the day, then you can unlock it. So you either leave it in your locker, you're allowed to carry it with you, you just can't get to your phone. And I'm like, so what the hell's the point? Like,
is that private school, Coral?
No, this is public school.
Man, listen, my son goes to school with a big ass like DJ style headset, one ear on, one ear off, phone all day, listening to music all day, watching video. They don't do nothing down here like that. They have their phones constantly. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, that's why I say, because my kids will be, I think they did it on purpose because, you know, these kids are getting into fights and people are recording it and nobody's like, so I'm like, how did this girl get jumped? And you guys all recorded it. And where was anybody around? This was in the middle of the hallway. Like, there's no teachers. There's nobody. This was a long fight here. Like, this is crazy. And so she was telling me that, like, right, because there was so many and so many kids calling, and magically the school got a don't. So this is my other kids that are there, because we have two high schools. One's a tech school and one is a regular high school. So the two that are at a tech school, they had these like a couple years ago, so they've been doing it. But my other daughter just got them assigned this year, so it's just been like frustrating because I'm trying to message her, and before she would wait till like lunch or a break or in between classes, and she would text me back, and now I'm like, oh God, like I'm trying to tell her that I'm not going to be there, and somebody else is going to go pick her up, and I can't even get a hold of her. You can't call the school because they're like, oh yeah, no, we're we cannot relay that message unless it's an emergency. So then what the hell? So I'm like, I was up there. I Googled how to break into yonder pouches so that way I could tell the kids. I'm like, I'm about to go buy the magnets so you could use it, because that's the whole thing is most of these school like shootings or stuff that happens like that, it's been because of these kids that are seeing something they call before anything even happens, or while the second it happens. It's never the school reporting it first. It's always a kid that's had a cell phone. So it's like, those cell phones are important. Maybe get better, better staffing or something going on there. Or how about like put it out to, what I wish they would do is put it out to these retired vets. And there's so many of them that would love to protect children. They have nothing to do. You can just have them walking around the school. They'll keep them damn kids safe as hell. Like, they ain't letting nothing happen on their watch. And they wouldn't even charge any money to do so. So I just wish they would think of other ways, because it ain't working, and you take away cell phones. And I already, like, you guys could have like when my kids do these like drills, and I'm like, practice like your safe hiding spots, but this is what I want you to do. Go to this little spot right here, break this window, and I'm gonna meet you right here on the side road. Like, don't be a sitting duck and doing what they're telling you. This is what you're doing, okay? I don't care what they do. We're not doing that, okay? Like, that's how we're getting out by any means necessary. You practice a drill, but when it comes down to it, there's a real go-to, and it ain't that one. Like, we ain't sitting ducks up in here waiting for something to happen to you. That's a dumb drill that their teachers were telling them, like, hide behind your desk and stay in place. Like, no, I'm breaking out the window, and I'm going at the kids in the hallway. I don't see them outside the window. I'm getting out the window, and I'm like, why do they teach them these like stupid things and then take away their phones? It just makes me feel uncomfortable, because I'm like, why do I pay all this money when they can't even use the phone? What is the point? Like, why don't you punish the kids that are getting caught on their phones? How about that? Like, why does everybody got to be punished for it? Why can't parents say, you know what? I don't want to do this yonder pouch. I want to sign and say that my kid's not participating. It's not happening. Either your kid has to leave their phone at home, or they have to participate. If not, then there's levels. So the first time they get a written warning, the second time they get an in-school suspension, the third time they get, I'm like, what? Why are you guys stricter on the damn phone than you are on kids bullying? That doesn't even make sense. Like, ugh.
We got, you ever heard of Grady Judd? The
No.
sheriff, he gets on and he does those press conference where he talks about, we'll kill you graveyard dad. And, he's like, his daddy was sheriff for like 30 years before he became sheriff. And, he's that sheriff that's like, teachers carry guns, if we get a call, we're not sitting outside the school waiting on backup. We're going in the school. We're going to, he's a very proactive sheriff. I love him. I think he's,
That's awesome.
He's all about protecting your property and protecting your family. And so our schools are, there are some schools where there's an organization down here. I can't remember the name of it, but it's all retired veterans, and they've come together and they just sit outside schools, like there'll be two at one school and they just sit across the street. They don't have nothing to do, and they just watch the school, trying to catch somebody, trying to do that kind of craziness. So I feel pretty safe with these schools.
Well, you guys are also in a red state too. I'm in a blue state, so it probably explains why they're so different over here. We don't. They're very like Massachusetts is definitely very uptight about a lot of things, and they're very like my kid. They have furries at their school. They're the ones that like if they want to be a cat, they could be a cat. Like what? No, I had a whole conversation with the school. We actually had a problem because my kid got a call home from school where the teacher told me that my kid was bullying, and I literally lost it. I was like, what do you mean she's bullying? And then when I go down to the school to talk to the lady, she tells me we're in the room with my daughter sitting there. And so I said, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what my kid has to say, because I could tell when she's lying, So look me right in the eye. And she's like, Mom, girl wears cat ears every day and a cat tail. She climbed on top of her desk and she's meowing. And so the teacher calls on her and asks her to respond and read something. She says, meow, meow, meow. And so the kids all start laughing. Teacher says it's not funny, that she can't do that. So then the teacher just stops all that noise and then picks on my kid and says, okay, you have to read that. And here goes my smart ass kid. Well, why do I have to read it if she doesn't have to read it? Like, she should have to read it too. And she's like, we're going to talk about this later. We don't do this. And she gave her a whole lecture about making people feel bad about themselves. And I sat to the teacher and said, are you serious? She's not wrong, because I can't bring my dog to work. So why the hell is our cat in the classroom? Like, that doesn't even make sense, because we got to teach our kid logic. When you want to be a cat in your goddamn bedroom after school hours, I don't give a shit. Be whatever you want, kid. But in reality and at work and at school, these are education. We ain't doing that shit. That's fucking weird. You need to teach your kid. They're not 5. Like, the kid's gonna get made fun of even worse by wearing like. It's not like the kid has problems. That's just their lifestyle. Okay, that's like fetishy and weird, and I don't think that should be tolerated. And it's just my opinion. I'm sorry if your kid's a furry out there. Don't be writing on Reddit about how I'm picking on furries, because that's weird. That's weird shit. Okay.
Well, Stevie has a. There's a few. I thought it was fuzzies, but yeah, I guess your furry's right.
Fuzzies. Oh, you got fuzzies. We got furries.
No, it's probably furry, but in my head, I was going to say fuzzy, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. But he's got a field cricket at his school. That's what I said. I said, what the hell is a field cricket?
I'm trying to figure it out myself. What is a field cricket?
Yeah, I don't know. He really couldn't explain it either.
Like, every day the kid dresses like that?
Yeah.
I mean, we had some gothic people, and we had some people that wore some choice things, but like, not like barn animals and crickets. Like,
yeah.
Heck yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you look at your kid that's just like normal, and they're like, you're getting bullied, but Mr. Cricket Boy over there is doing just fine. Like, I don't understand.
Well, but there's a lot of times there's things that put stuff in perspective for me, where like I see things or he tells me things, and in my head I'm like, you know what? Maybe his hair ain't that bad. I can accept the hair in his eyes, because it could be a lot worse. I could be dealing with.
He's a cute boy. I was looking at the pictures that Mel sent earlier, and I was like, well, he's like a good mixture of both of you guys. And he does have really pretty eyes when you could see them. Today was the first time I ever saw his eyes. I didn't even know that he had eyes until today.
Yeah.
And his cheeks, even like a Charlie, we were all like his cheeks. I just want to like squeeze his little face.
I know. You can't do that anymore. He's too old. You can barely hug him now. You know, he's like,
they're too cool now.
Just way too cool for.
Don't even tell him that you love him. They're like, God, don't embarrass me. Like, oh, I'm sorry that love is just so embarrassing. Like, geez.
Yeah, he's a good kid. I'm thankful. So
that's awesome. So it's not like, has it been nice and peaceful? Is it weird not having anybody home? Relaxing because you don't have.
No, shit. I relax either way. No, I miss him. You know, we get to talking shit. You know, we're just that dysfunctional house where kids come over, people come over, and they're like, "Damn, they really talk like that to each other." You know, like we don't pull no punches. I'm like, get your fucking ass up and go clean the damn bathroom. You know, that's just how we communicate. So it's just me and the animals now. It's a little quiet. That's all.
I say you must be bored. That's why I was looking. I'm like, I'm real shocked he hasn't been on a German live yet.
No, I'm just out here messing with this fire. So
I know I can hear the little crackles. It sounds peaceful and relaxing.
I know. And that's the other thing. You ever think about, I'm going to say this and I got to go. I know. One more thing. I'm so old. I feel I'm so old because I was sitting here earlier watching the fire, you know, and the sun went down and I was like, damn, that was pretty. And then it got black, you know, and I'm looking at the embers of the fire and I was just like, this is absolutely beautiful, you know? And I think like, I would never say that 20 years ago. I would, you know, it's just how you change when you get older. You know, you look at, I just look at shit differently. I'll stop and watch birds now. You know, what the hell am I doing? They're just flying through the air and I'm just watching them. I just appreciate a lot of shit.
I think it's just like, especially when I feel like it comes with age and like wisdom and everything. You just start thinking about like how, and especially because people around you, you see all these stories, you see all this sadness. Like it hit me hard last night, even thinking about duty. And I'm like, man, it's just crazy to me that life is never promised and we always take advantage of the little things. So I'm like, man, I might be having a bad day, but like I'm breathing and a lot of people can't say the same. So I exactly know what you're talking about. Like it's just the little things, right? I saw the sunset from my porch today and I was just like, sat there just for a minute and just quiet and just staring like, wow, this is, if I flash back 10 years ago, this would not be a thing for me to be like, cool, sunset, bye, not even pay attention, you know? Now I'm just trying to like enjoy the little things that we don't know if we'll get to see that again or not, you know?
Yeah.
Wait, does your son have a TikTok?
He's got all kinds of accounts.
I see some right here. It says that Steven, and it says, stop talking about my hair, Dad. Oh, I don't know if that's really your son or if it's just someone messing around.
Oh, I don't know. That'd be something he would say. So
yeah. He don't like you talking about his hair?
No, that was him. He just shot me a text.
Oh, it was him. Oh, crap.
I said, bye, Dad, in the comments. So I can't see, he's watching me. They're watching me.
Yeah, he is. He's watching you right now. Stop talking about my hair, Dad.
They're keeping an eye on me. Well, I know
Mel would be because the girls always send out that when I'm live or something. So I know Mel would be. We're watching you, always watching.
Yeah,
from afar.
Well, listen, I'm going to say this, and then I got to go finish this fire. And I know he's listening. I just hope that my son knows. I know sometimes I catch myself, and I'm like, son, listen, do this, try that, and I'm trying to guide him, just from experience. And he's like, oh, okay, Dad. I could tell he doesn't want to hear that shit. But I just hope 20 years from now, 10 years from now, that my kids can look back and realize like the shit I was telling them is just facts. It's just the truth. I'm just trying to prepare him for the type of people that are in this world. There's mean people, there's hurtful people, there's nasty people. And I hope he hears that. And I hope he knows that,
Yeah. Did you hear that, son? Did you hear what your dad, you hear that fire that he's spitting?
He's rolling his eyes right now.
Oh, he's rolling his eyes, but you know what? I know he knows deep down that he's very fortunate. Like you guys are great parents, and obviously because it shows in how he is as a child. So you know that's how you could always tell when the kid is a reflection. I mean, not all the time, because some kids just like one kid just goes rogue, but you do everything you can to try to do that for them. But you got really lucky. I hear that all the time from Mel too. Like he's a sweet boy, except for when you guys are yelling at him to get up. I hear that all the time. Get up. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you again. We're going to be late.
Well, I can say this, and then I'm going to go.
Then one more thing.
I already take Stevie as a success, as a win, because at his age, I was having a child. I hadn't been to school in a year and a half. My mom was dying of cancer. You know what I mean? I'm thankful that he's doing great. He's got great grades, like honor roll type stuff, advanced classes, and he's a good kid. He's not up to nothing bad. I can say that because I watch him, and his mom watches him. We know he's not doing anything bad. He's not doing anything remotely close to what we were doing at that age.
Yeah, so, that's what I think about.
I'm thankful for that. I
want to tell people too right now, just a heads up, there's 336 of you in this chat right now. He is a minor child. Don't be over there friend requesting him and stuff. Leave that boy alone. Let him have friends of his own age. Don't be weirdos. Please don't be weirdos. Don't be weirdos.
But all right, kick me out of here, please. I appreciate you guys.
I'll kick you out. Always love having you in here, but you didn't say it, and I need to hear it one time.
Fuck you, Jesse. You don't have to ask me to say that. Fuck you, Jesse.
You didn't say it. Was the first time I heard you say it tonight. I was waiting. I love though that how you sign everything. Now it's like you'll write this important message and it's so good, and then at the end FYJ. I'm like, oh, we signing our names like that now. Okay, noted.
Sometimes I question that because I'm like, damn, that was a nice post or whatever. And then I'm like,
no, we all crack up. I was looking this. If you actually look up the hashtag FYJ, it is like a viral hashtag now. You have made that hashtag go viral. So that's congratulations.
Awesome. Yeah, that's all. And everybody needs to pray for Duty Ron. So.
Yeah, we are going to pray FYJ, FYC.
That's it.
I'll kick you out now. I hope you have a good rest of your night.
You too.
And yeah, stay out of the German lives.
Absolutely.
Okay. Bye. Let me boot you. Why is it not letting me? Oh, there it is. Disconnect. Boom. Always a fun time when Papa Steve pops in. I miss that guy whenever he comes in and graces us with his presence. I love it. Words of wisdom. I could talk to that guy all day. Him and Mel, easiest freaking people to talk to ever. They literally, we could talk about anything. Like we talked about prison food and everything today. We also learned that Papa Steve can make makeup out of M&Ms. So maybe he'll do a video showing us how to do eyeshadow on lipstick one day. Oh, crap. I can't. I'm just trying to catch up on the chat now. Yeah, the best mom and dad dude. Yep, it's for real. He sure does. Hopefully people don't be weird and like, oh, he says I can hear you. I'm out of here if you're going to get mushy. Yep. We rally for that boy. He's been like laying low the whole time, but obviously a very good kid. We are in an Uber if you don't want to hear from us again. Duty Ron has cancer. He talked about it last night and told the communities about it. He did a live on YouTube if anybody wants to watch it. He doesn't know what kind of cancer it is. He found a lump. He doesn't know, some sort of lymphoma, leukemia. He's not sure. He did his PET scan today. And so in a couple days, he'll actually know what stage he's at, if it's isolated to just that lump that he found, or if there's more to it. So right now he just asked for people to send good juju, prayers, whatever it is that you do. Hopefully he caught it at the early stages and they're able to go hard on the treatment, because the poor guy, as soon as he told me that, I was just like, dang, man, why is it always the good people? It's always like the best people, I swear to you. Like, I can name 16 shitheads right now where I could care less if they got that. Sadly to say, it sounds fucked up to say, but we all do. Don't lie. We all know somebody that we can be like, take it from that person and give it to this one. Because they got karma and we're just going to help it out. But like, not him though. Not her. Like, it's like, why? Like my boss is like Mother Teresa. She's like probably I've never had a boss in my lifetime that is like her. Like she's so amazing that I love her so much. It's insane. I could literally be like, I can just come out right on my face and be like, you know what? I'm fucking tired of this shit. Cheryl's pissing me off today. She's being fucking lazy, just like that. And she'll be like, you know what though? Cheryl might just be having a rough home life. So just stay away from her and I'll just take her out of what you're doing so that way you don't have to worry about it. Like, why are you so amazing? And she has multiple myeloma, non-treatable. Just buys her some time. And I'm just over here like so sad because a woman is always positive, no matter what she's going through, no matter how she feels, all through these treatments she's been going through. And you could tell by looking at her sometimes she ain't feeling great, but she's still such a beautiful, never complaining person. And I'm like, I just want to take it from you and give it to Jesse. I'm so sorry. Like, why you? Why? Coral, I heard a saying, when you pick flowers, you pick the best ones first. Oh, Sarah, that is insane. I like that a lot, but I don't, because I'd stop picking the best ones for that kind of shit. Okay. Pick them for good things, not for the bad. Pisses me off for sure. I know, I'm sure everybody was pumped to hear Steve talk. I'm still going to keep pushing him. I'm hoping that he gets a YouTube going. Because listen, we could listen to that man talk all day. It doesn't even matter. Right now, I wanted to kind of steer the conversation into something different. Because, Wade's a little played out. He said what he had to say, but let's move it on. I was kind of curious about what kind of foods he makes. Now I want him to make me that goulash. Like, Mel, you still on here? How's that goulash? Because he's saying the kids like it and everything. And I'm like, I want to try some goulash. Does he make it in a trash bag? Like, I got to know. I want to try it. Can we get him to write a book? I'm just trying to get him to do a podcast. You miss Papa Steve? No, Crystal. Yeah, Steve left. Who are you, Tom Miller? I saw your messages earlier, but I'm just trying to figure out who you are. Because I've seen you pop in before. You live in Florida? Well, also letting you guys know, if you watch the Duty Ron special, if you haven't, from last night, he gave the Coral Light community such a beautiful shout out. He shouted out to the mods. He shouted out to the team and the community. He loves our community. He thanks all of you guys and your support and your love. And he's like, TikTok has been a drama filled place, but I love your community. And that to me was like, oh, we're just we're merging his good community with our good community, and it's just a big powwow of love and great people and respectable people, and I freaking truly love that the most. It's worth everything to me, over anything else, to have people that are very respectful. That guy, was there for 9/11. He did a lot of things, he's actually been through cancer before, skin cancer from 9/11. He's got plenty of stories, and he covers every true crime case. He's had Gabby Petito's parents on his lives, and he's had like Melanie Little. If you guys don't know Melanie Little, oh my gosh, fangirling over here. I love me some Melanie Little. And I see him they're like BFFs, and I'm over here that's so awesome. What a good connection, because these people have the background. I'd rather talk to someone who is a retired cop who has been doing it their whole life, or detectives, defense attorneys, prosecutors. I'd rather talk to these types of people, or forensics. Those are the ones I want to ask questions in the true crime community. It's not like some other dumbass with a phone, I want somebody that that's the value. We have other people that we could use for different things, but his community means a lot to me, because there's a lot of people that have the crazy backgrounds that can actually get us answers. If they don't know, they find it. Love that. Oh God. Who's calling me from somewhere? Louisiana. Who's calling from Louisiana? Is one of you calling me from Louisiana right now? I'm not answering it. Tommy and Mila, actually, are they live yet? Can somebody confirm? Are they live yet? Or are they going live at 9? Duty Ron, did you hear me talking about you? Did someone tag you? Because you just came out when I was just talking about how great your community was. I don't know if you heard of it, but at all. But I wanted to give you a shout out. And because I was just talking about yesterday how you gave the community a shout out. So I let them know that even in everything you're going through, you gave a shout out to the community and the love and everything else that you got. And we're here to rally for you, Duty. We really want like the best. We're hoping that your scan today, you know, everything's going to go decent and you'll find out sooner rather than later. Oh, you missed it. No. And you missed Papa Steve. He was in here for like a good hour. We were talking about prison foods, like what he used to make in prison. We also found out you can use M&Ms to make makeup. So that was interesting. You can make eyeshadows. So I was just trying to talk about something other than Wade and kind of hear different things about him. We talked about bullying in schools and not being able to parent. We talked about actually his son popped in, his youngest one, and Mel, and so it was kind of cool. It was a different vibe, not so only about Wade, you know. I like people to get to know him other than just the negative side. I appreciate you all supporting me during this uncertain time for me. Hey, listen, if anybody's going to kick its ass, it's going to be you, because you already been through enough. You've been through a lot, and you always are doing stuff and rallying for other people and praying for others. And that does, I believe in that good karma coming back. You've already beaten cancer before. So hopefully it's at an early stage and you're going to come back and hit us with some, you know, no matter what, it's not going to be the greatest news because you still got a battle, but let's just hope that it's something that's, you know, has a very high success rate and you caught it at the early stages. Either way, we're here to fight with you. Anything you need. Guys, follow Duty Ron. He's actually trying to grow his platform on TikTok as well. So if you guys want to hit that, he said cancer should be afraid of you, Duty. So true. But if you guys want to hit that smash button for him, Steve has been communicating with me about my cancer. He has been a true friend since I spoke it. Yeah, actually, he's been signing instead of just FYJ, he now puts FYJ, FYC. So now he's, you know, saying that too. Like, not just Jesse, cancer too. So cancer is Jesse. So I guess they're one and the same. So, you know, I love that. The guy has a huge heart, honestly. Anybody, I honestly want to fly to wherever these people are that talk crap just to punch them in the face, because, like, how do you not see how amazing this man is? He's got a big heart. And it goes to show you that, yes, he's been through some shit times in his life. He's made some bad decisions in his life. He's spent some time in prison. But I've met so many great people that spend time in prison and have changed their life and are just the most amazing people. So that's why I say you can't always judge. But yeah, you can when you don't have remorse and you don't do anything to change your life and you don't grow from something that you did. If you're constantly doing that, yeah. But I love that man so much. And I'm hoping that you're feeling the love of the community and you're feeling all that support. I'm sure you were messages deep on that video yesterday, because I was just like, man, that chat was flying so fast. I could barely keep up with it. And I was just overwhelmed. I got emotional reading some of the things that people wrote to you, or how they're battling it. They're currently themselves, or how, you know, they lost somebody. And I'm like, man, this is just so touching right now. I've never been so moved in a live ever. It was so touching. Honestly, we absolutely love you, Duty Ron. And we send you all of the jujus and prayers. And I'm just hoping you knock this one right down. Don't let that get into it. You know what? My boss told me too, because I was talking to her about it today. She doesn't know who you are. She doesn't really go on social media, but she was saying to tell you that the only thing that, like, she's like, I almost never feel sick. However, if I'm in my brain and I start thinking about it and I let it define me, then yeah, now all of a sudden I don't feel well. Now it's consuming me. Now it's consuming my brain. And she's like, you just have to fight it with positivity. You have to sit there and literally every day pull yourself in there and be like, I can fucking do this. Oh, are you in the box? Hold on, wait. Let me bring you in. Let's bring you in. And let me pull you up because I have the screen's funny. I need to make the screen. How do I bring you? How do I, okay, here's the microphone, camera, expand. Okay. No, I don't want that.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to do that either, but I was trying to do side by side and it wouldn't let me, let's try. I hate this part of the TikTok.
I wouldn't even know what the hell to do with it because I'm not familiar with the whole. You're on the Creator Studio?
Yeah, I'm just in like clicking on you and it brings up like a let me see, it says shrink.
I feel like I'm taking up too. I feel like I'm
but
taking
then it
up
gets
too
you.
much.
I'm trying to get the side by side, and for some reason, it's not letting me do it. Well, you're not on camera right now anyway, so you could freely speak.
Yeah, so I'm just so I had the PET scan today, so I'm radioactive right now. So I'm sitting in my hoodie and my sweatpants, and I'm just chilling out in the living room watching the Dodgers and the Yankees. I want the Yankees to kick the Dodgers' ass.
Oh, the true New Yorker.
Yeah, I'm fucking pissed that they knocked out my Mets, but
I'm in Massachusetts, so I'm gonna say the Yankees ain't my favorite, and I can't. How do you deny Mookie Betts? That man is like the freaking greatest.
The Dodgers got a beast of a team, but
they do have a beast of a team.
Anyways, but when a New York team is in the World Series, I got to root for the Yankees. I'm not a Yankee fan.
That's true.
I got to do it, in true New York fashion. But to all my Dodgers fans, wish you guys luck. So I just wanted to make a couple of things. I did. I really appreciated not just you guys, but I appreciated the love from all of the creators, like the JD Delay and Pablo, and like a whole bunch of other people who were, just in that chat last night. And that chaplain that I brought in there, there's a whole story with him. The guy Bob who said the prayer. I don't know if were you in there for that?
I left and then I came back, but I rewatched the whole thing today.
Okay. All right. So for those of you who watched or watched the replay, when that chaplain came in, so a lot of people don't know this, but when I responded down to the World Trade Center, my cousin Ralph, same last name as me, he was a journey foreman, electrician, working like his second day at the World Trade Center, but he was like 7 years on the job, 30 years old, 2 little kids at home, an infant, and like a 18-month-old boy, 2 boys. And it was the second day there, he got killed by the terrorist. He died in the World Trade Center. So my cousin's parents, my uncle and aunt, they wanted me to bring them down because, I was at the site and they wanted me to bring them down there, like, I don't know, maybe a week or 2 later. And I put them all in a NYPD policeman, an unmarked van, and we drove them to the World Trade Center, and they wanted to see the site where their son was disintegrated. And we're all there. They've got big Ziploc bags, and they're taking the dirt from the World Trade Center, like all the dust, and putting it in the bags and crying. And, my big Italian family's there, and we're all sitting at the site. And all of a sudden, this guy with a priest collar comes up to us and goes, "Do you mind if I pray with you?" And it was this guy, Bob. And he was from Illinois, and he was there for months and months and months, praying with all the first responders. So that's how I met him. He prayed with us. He was just like an angel. He came out of nowhere, prayed with my family, and then he was gone. And he gave me his card. And for like 20 years, I looked at that card and I said, I want to call this guy. And I started talking about him on my YouTube channel, and somebody got the word to him that there's this retired detective talking about you. And he got a hold of me on the 20-year anniversary. And I had him on and he prayed with me. on the 20-year anniversary of World Trade. He remembered everything. He's like, yes, I remember your family. You guys were so gracious. And he came on and did a whole live stream with me. So last night, I texted him that I was going live to talk about my cancer, and he didn't know about it. And he was like, I want to come on. I want to pray with your people. And that's how that all unfolded. So this guy now lives in Florida. He works as a chaplain in Polk County for Grady Judd. So just an unbelievable man, just a godly guy. And it was just moving. I thought it was really, I wanted him to pray not just for me, but for all of us. And that's what he did. So that's what made that special. If you didn't see that part, go and scroll to it where it's the three of us. It's me, retired NYPD sergeant who I worked with in the warrants and the fugitive division. And it was me, her, and this chaplain. And it's well worth the watch because I told him, I said, I want you to pray not just for me and my cancer battle. I want you to pray for all my people who are going through it and everybody who may be going through it in the future, and pray for all of everybody. And he did that. It was great.
That was beautiful. But it's even more beautiful now that we know like the backstory and like the ties and how he's already done that for your cousin too. And I'm sorry about your cousin. That's terrible. Like you're reporting to it, and you also lost somebody and I'm sure you lost other people as well. Probably people you work with and stuff like that as well.
Many people. And, that's when I got the diagnoses on the 16th, last Wednesday. I immediately flashed to all the people that I lost to cancer from the NYPD and my personal friends who had nothing to do with that just got cancer and died. My father died of bile duct cancer. And so just like everything flashed before me, and it was just really surreal of what, getting that. Like I had the cancer from the skin cancer, but there was no chemotherapy. There was no radiation. There was none of this seriousness to it. They just cut it off. They cut, I got 17 stitches in my head one time. I got, another bunch of stitches in the back of my head. So I've had like 5 or 6 of these little bouts of cancer, skin cancer. But now to have this is like the real deal. And, I got the PET scan today, and I won't know probably till maybe tomorrow or Monday when it goes in my portal. So I'll get to see it before my doctor gets to see it. And we'll see. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed.
I like what Crystal says. She says, cancer is a word, not sentence. You got this.
Yeah. I mean, my doctor told me that 30 years ago, if you got this diagnosis, you'd be a death sentence. But modern medicine has changed so much, and the therapies for this type of cancer is very treatable when caught early. And there's the key words there: when caught early. And I'm hoping that I did catch it early, and we're praying that it's not in a whole bunch of different other areas within my body, and that PET scan will tell. So, to everybody in the chat, love and respect always. You guys are, like I said last night on my stream, I don't know if you caught that, Koral, but I was like, you've developed such a great community. It like mimics mine with the ladies. And, I know you have a couple of gents in here as well, but majority of you, the girl power that's in here and the way you guys fight for justice for the victims and their families, that's what I live for. And you guys, you guys just are like a ray of sunshine, goodness. And I made it clear on the live. I called you guys out, the mods here, and all of your people who are, with you and locking arms. That's the kind of stuff that I like, to be around. And I couldn't not bring that out because I saw, how when I said to you, hey, would you share this? I'm going to do this. And you were like, consider it done. And I love that. So I appreciate you.
Oh, listen, I think we're all devastated by that news. And it was something that I know that's what we were about. And that's exactly what you're about. That's why I said the communities are so beautiful to merge them. I've had people that joined that are part of your community that said, hey, I've been riding with Duty Ron for a couple years now, but I started watching you because he's been talking about you, and ever since like I guess Mila's when she was on there, I got some people from there, so they like our community too, and I'm like I love it because everybody's feeling at home no matter which way they go. And YouTube and TikTok are two different worlds, and it's kind of cool because now you have both, and we're all both kind of like seeing, on both of them now. But I gave you a shot before you came in, and we were saying the same thing of just like how beautiful it was, and how everybody rallied, and how what a touching. I've never been so touched on a live in my entire life. Like I went through all kinds of emotions, and was just like, this is so beautiful, and like. Yesterday, I didn't want to make it all sad, but it was my dad's birthday, and he raised me since I was little, and he passed away 2 years ago, and it was all on the same day, so it was just overwhelming of emotions already for me. So I'm like, oh my God, what a beautiful moment! I needed it because it was just to see everybody rally for you. It was just so amazing that. This is what we do. This is why we do it. When when it's our turn or something happens, God forbid. We rise up and we rally, and when we say we write at dawn, we ain't joking. This is the serious stuff that we're about. We're not here for the drama and the aspect of that. We're here to actually be there for people at the time of them needing it,
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw in the chat people saying the Sarah Boone verdict is in. Let me just say this, and without even seeing it, I guarantee it's going to be guilty. I got a feeling, I just have that gut feeling that she's going to be found guilty on all charges.
What is it, chat? Let me know. Somebody Google it. I know it's guilty, but like, what were the charges?
So yeah. So she's
open and shut luggage.
It's so I don't know. I haven't been watching it because someone said open and shut luggage.
Yeah, that's correct.
It wasn't an open and shut case.
They're waiting for someone to come back.
Okay, yeah. So I don't think it has come down yet, but it looks like they're saying that. My own the girl who does the editing on my videos already texts me, and she's like, "Hey, boss, Boone verdict is possibly coming down." So, so I just got that message while I was on here with you. Huh?
Oh, wait, it's in California. Where's it at? No, she's in Florida. What? When are they?
She's in Florida. She's in Florida. So,
isn't the jury done for the day?
They might, obviously not. People are watching court TV. They might be working overtime to get this. Most juries like to not let the weekend set. They like to try to, unless they're at an impasse, But I think they were all on board with this one, and they probably said, "Let's work throughout the night so we could be done with this and go home."
Well, like Massachusetts, like they ain't playing around, and the jury, it's like because I was watching that Karen Reed trial, it's like 4 p.m. and Judge Bev, Auntie Bev over there is like, I'm out. I'm out of here.
They said that they got permission, I think, to go till 9, 10, or 11.
Wow.
I don't know. There's a lot of different things. So judge gave them permission to keep going. And look, they want a verdict, but they don't want them to rush it. But it's indicative that everybody's on the same page. When you have a bunch of people that are disagreeing, then they're not going to just say, "Oh, let's just give this so we can go home." I think that they're all in agreement, and that's a good sign for the prosecution. And for the victim here, this guy was zippered up in a suitcase and then mocked by some psychopath and then hit when his hand was coming out of it with a fucking baseball bat. I mean, come on. You
have to see her too, because she's literally like staring at she's smiling at the jury. Like she's like I said, like she's at a beauty pageant, like, hey, pick me.
Yeah, she's a female version of Wade Wilson. She's a danger to society. She's a killer and would kill again if you crossed her. I mean, so she just didn't like him. And yeah, they were both volatile with each other in their relationship, hitting each other, getting drunk. The common denominator is they were both drinkers, and they both would get stupid, sloppy drunk. And she beat him, he beat her, and it doesn't give you the right to kill somebody. So at the end of the day, the defense brought in the big guns and tried to say, well, guess what? This is battered woman syndrome and blah, 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 blah. But when she videotaped herself mocking the guy while he was dying, that to me is the seal of the deal right there,
And then she's slurring her words and everything, but like there was definitely intent in that, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's telling her I can't breathe. And she's like, oh, that's your problem. Oh,
I would love though to have somebody, did he not, like, he wasn't even moving in the suitcase videos. Like, I'd have been flipping around, flopping around. Like, that suitcase didn't move while he was yelling. So I'm like,
they were both drunk. They both drank two like huge big things of wine, and that's confirmed. They both shared this big thing of wine, or two of them, and he was 5'2", 103 pounds. So. The guy's a small, teeny guy, but it is what it is. Listen, I'm going to run, but I want to just say thank you again to all of the Koral community. You Koralites are awesome. Keep on being you. Keep on doing what you're doing, and don't let the trolls and the people who are gonna. When you're successful, people are going to knock you down. They're going to try to knock you down, and that's I've seen that on many different levels. It happens to me. You got to have a thicker skin and just ignore these people, because they want to get a rise out of you. And by people coming after you for doing something good, that's on them. So people will see right through it. People that are good will see through it. You want to weed your garden, Koral. So when you got these shitty people, just block them and move on. Smile and wave. I always say it. So thank you guys. Thank you all for
we appreciate you. And we're going to keep sending those positive juju and prayers, and we'll be anxiously awaiting to find out. Hey, do you use that on my chart too? Because that thing,
I do.
I swear I find out information more first there before I find it from my doctor.
Yep, that's what I said. I'm going to get the results before my doctor gets it, but hopefully I won't be able to read the results. I'll be able to see the imaging, but I guess I'll be able to read the report. But a lot of times the reports are kind of, like a lot of technical stuff, and the terminology that they use is not my language, so it's like but hopefully I'll be able to know what it is, but at the end of the day, like, it's Friday night and they didn't upload it yet, so I don't know if these people work on Saturdays or how that's going to happen, or maybe it'll just be Monday, so we'll see. Keep my fingers crossed.
All right, Raven says she's a nurse if you need help interpreting.
Thank you, Raven. I will definitely take you up on that. Thank you.
Well, we hope that you have a really good night, and thank you for popping in. I always love when you come in and say hi.
Appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon. Waiting for our update. I love this. So we already had Steve in here. We had Duty up in here. Let's not have any crazies though, okay? Like I need like a crazy free night. As crazy as we're gonna get right now as I'm on this live. No camera movement yet. We're waiting for this verdict over here. So we can watch and see what's gonna happen. If they've already reached it, I don't know why they haven't come out yet. I'm just anxiously waiting to find out what you got. Is this like oh, I had to turn the volume so that way it is ready when it's ready. Let me take the headphones off. Boom, speakers. Okay. The Sarah Boone verdict is already, they already deliberated for an hour and 45 minutes, and they already have a verdict, which we already pretty much know. Who wants to call it right now? Who wants to call? We already know guilty, but what do you think she's going to get charged with? Hey, Jules. Thank you guys that were giving gifts and giving me the heart meats and stuff. I didn't when people are in here, I'm not going to address it, but I do see you guys and I appreciate that. Can you respond to the comment about you wishing cancer on people? Because there's no misinterpret. What are you talking about? Oh, when I was just messing around. Nobody wishes cancer on people. I don't want to wish cancer on anybody. I was just making a freaking joke and I put it towards Jesse. So, because FYJ. But honestly, no, I don't wish any sort of ill will on anybody. I don't want the karma of that. It's just that I'm just messing around with you guys. So don't get sensitive on it. It's a miss. You guys don't sit over here crazy about it. Judge's bag. Mine's on what? Oh, all right. Play. I didn't even see a comment about that. I missed that comment.
Case number 2020 CF 2603, State of Florida versus Sarah Boone. State, let me get your appearance for the record.
Chief, yes, sure, on behalf of the state.
William J. for the state. Defense.
James Owens for Ms. Boone. Coming back from Sarah Boone. Mr. Henderson's not on the year with me.
Okay, all right. Ms. Boone is seated at counsel's table, wearing the same clothes.
Yeah, I still don't know where that comment is.
Yes, Mr. Beck.
The judge, they've got her in chains and they've got her in the ankle handcuffs, so she can't.
People can't be sarcastic or have any sort of humor. They take literally every one of my words so serious and literal.
If there's any way you can take off the handcuffs and the waist chain so that the jury wouldn't see it in case there's something wrong with the verdict form or, there's an issue, which sometimes happens, but that's my position.
Why does she need to take the
I've been
waist chain
advised
off?
by the sheriff that during the reading of the verdict, due to Miss Boone's status as an inmate, their leg irons and the cuffs are to be attached.
Well, she's going to stay seated.
That's fine.
Mr. Beck's going to stay seated.
I would ask for us all to remain seated, and do you mind the gallery that there should be no emotional reaction?
I was just about to address that, sir. Thank you very much. All right, members of the
I
jury.
can't. If I show the screen, I get in trouble for it because it is a law and crime. So I've tried doing that before, and my live got flagged. But you can do it on YouTube. It's just TikTok don't like it.
To contain yourself emotionally, and you're going to react in any way, be it in joy or in.
Yeah, go see her. If you guys want to see her actual face,
I'm
go
gonna
turn
ask
it
you
on.
politely to excuse yourself at this time. There cannot be any emotional outbursts when the verdict is read. Does everybody understand that? I see everybody nodding their heads. Okay. All right, State, are we ready to bring in our jury?
This is on law and crime right now,
Ready to
guys.
Bring in our jury.
Yes, Judge.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in our jury. Everyone will remain seated.
All right, let me see. This is crazy. I can't believe they came back that fast. I can't believe they're doing this right now, like almost 9 o'clock at night. Florida don't play. We're watching the Sarah Boone verdict right now. Maybe I'm watching it on YouTube. I would share it with you guys, but it does not. TikTok does not like me sharing law and crime. Actually, anybody, it flags the content because it's theirs. They weren't playing hide. No grown ass adults playing hide and seek.
State, do you recognize our jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, do you recognize our jury? All right, members of the jury, you may be seated. Thank you. Members of our jury, good evening. I understand that you've come to a verdict in this case.
Yes.
If you could please hand the verdict form to
Good
the
night.
deputy, please. Thanks, sir.
Form is in. Oh, look. They're not showing her face. They're just showing the back of her head.
Madam Clerk, if you could please publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the Ninth Judicial Circuit, Annandale, Orange County, Florida, case number 2020 CF 2603, the state of Florida versus Sarah Boone. Verdict. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the second degree.
Second degree murder.
Charged in the information. So say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this 25th day of October.
They're not showing her face, just a side.
The form has been signed by the foreperson.
Madam Clerk, please poll our jury.
Juror seat number 1, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror seat number 2, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror seat number 3, is this your true and
Yes, it
correct
is.
verdict? Juror seat number 4, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror seat number
Oh, her lips quivering.
correct verdict? Yes. Juror seat number 6.
We got a lip quiver.
Correct verdict.
Yes, ma'am.
Members,
That's the most emotion I've seen her have during this
thank you for
trial.
your time, your sacrifice, and your attention in this matter. I know that we spent almost 2 weeks together, and it was not taken lightly, and I really appreciate the time and the effort and the sacrifice that you put into this case. I want to advise you now of your final instruction. Members, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your time and your consideration in this case. I also wish to advise you of some very special privileges enjoyed by jurors. No juror can ever be required to talk about the discussions that occurred in the jury room except by court order. For many centuries, our society has relied upon juries for
She
consideration.
should have taken the 15 years. CK, you're right.
Recognized
Dumbass, why wouldn't you take the 15? You already knew you were going to be guilty.
Should remain their private affair as long as they
She
wish
really
it.
thought the battered spouse was going to work
Therefore, the law gives you
when she was equally as
not to
abusive.
speak about the jury's
Made no
work.
sense.
Although you are at liberty to speak to anyone about your deliberations,
Look at my dog
you
hair
are
on me.
also
You can
at
feel it.
liberty to refuse to speak to anyone. A request to discuss either your verdict or your deliberations may come from those who are simply curious, from those who might seek to find fault with you, from the media, from the attorneys, or elsewhere. It will
That's
be
what
up to you to
narcissists do.
decide
They
whether
don't
to
take
preserve
plea
your
deals. They're
privacy
untouchable.
as a juror. With
It's
that,
true.
members of the jury, again, I thank you for your service. I'm going to ask you to return to the deliberation room. I'll be back there shortly with your jury certificates. And thank you.
I watched her face. That smile was wiped right off. Ears red. Oh, she mad now. How could they not believe me? I think you're absolutely right, though. I think she definitely hit herself with a blade in the leg.
Ms. Boone, the jury has spoken in this matter and has found you guilty of murder in the second degree. The court adjudicates you guilty of murder in the second degree. As this is your first felony conviction, you are entitled to a pre-sentencing investigation by the Department of Corrections. Mr. Owens, are you seeking that in this
Yeah,
case?
for real, KK. Can we get this judge to do Karen Reed? Because Auntie Bev ain't it.
Pre-sentencing investigation.
Really
State,
pissing
for the
me
purposes
off.
of sentencing, do you anticipate eliciting any testimony
Danny, I can't with you.
from be it the victim's family?
2 or 3 victim impact statements, sir.
Okay. Mr. Owens, do you plan on presenting any evidence during the course of the sentencing hearing, sir?
Probably some testimony from Dr. Harper.
Okay. All right. How long do you think, state, that you would need?
You mean timing-wise, or are we thinking?
A quantum of time, sir. Yeah, well, normally...
Why you do something to my girl? I forgot what she wrote. And I was like, who are you? And Danny let me know that that's Phone Jones from YouTube. And I was like, oh.
Wait, what? I don't get the can you give me $5 part?
I know. I don't know. She's
What does that mean?
Blanco came in on her on a troll account. It had 0 following, 0 followers. I took screenshots. I'll send it to you.
How did you know it was her?
Because it said Blanco told you, and then PJ came in and just confirmed that it was her. She's like, "Why you blocked my girl?" Yeah. Yeah, she's like, "Can you give me $5?"
Sorry, GG. I was trying to say hi to you, but then we had something drama-y pop up because there's never a dull moment on TikTok lifestyles over here.
Yeah. So.
But listen, I don't get involved in the. I don't know what the fight. Never been a friend of mine, so I don't know where the beef is, or have even been a friend of theirs, and they've never been a friend of mine, so I don't know where the beef is. And I just don't get it because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not addressing this mean girls type crap. And if you guys have a problem, like if address it with the person you have a problem with. Like I didn't do anything to you. So if you don't like me, then fucking block me. Don't come over here and create drama. I'm already fucking having some times. And it's real quick to hit that block button. Out of sight, out of mind. But the fact that you guys can't, like either you just super fans, or yeah, like I don't know what it is that you can't let go of. Like just leave me alone. I'm leaving you alone. Leave me alone. I don't understand what the beef is. It doesn't make sense to me, Danny. It's getting me to that frustrated point because I'm over here trying with you guys in our community. We're trying to do things that are positive. We're trying to show up for people. We're rallying and we're doing our own thing, minding our own damn business. And it all started because you guys were trying to defend my name, which is bullshit. Because I didn't go there. I didn't see it. You guys are defending my name. And then you guys got bullied. And then you guys start now having to defend your own names because now you're being drugged into everything. And it doesn't make sense. No, I don't get it. It doesn't. I just don't get it.
Thank you for the gifts, Carla. Love you. Appreciate you. Yeah, I just don't. That's why I took a break for 3 days. Because I just don't want to deal with it no more. It's dumb. It's stupid.
Oh my God.
I didn't know that it was a big thing that I gave him $5. Nobody else was doing. Like I don't have money like that. Sorry, y'all. I don't get paid on this platform. I literally have a job and I have kids and I have bills and I have everything else going. And I'm sorry if y'all are rolling in dough, but like $5 is $5. Okay. I don't ever get mad. You guys are over here giving me like 1 cent roses. Thank you so much. I'm appreciative. And what do? I go and I get that back to people because what goes around comes around, right? That's what it is.
From the dark always comes to light.
Yes, that is a good thing. I'm going to tattoo that on my body.
Preach, girl, preach.
Dang. So listen, as you can see, Kiara, like you get bullied even when you're an adult. It doesn't go away. It's always going to be mean girls somewhere, always. You just got to rise above it, not like shake it off, not go to it.
Sour candies.
I don't want those. Those are terrible.
I do.
You said, Coral, I'll give you $5. Next time, give me $5 and I'll mix it with my $5 and then we could give jumpsuit $10.
Mom, look at the lollipops.
Because then if you get with your friends and then you get with my friends, we could be friends.
Yes.
Still so much more.
Aw, thank you for the gift, Carla.
Never a dull moment.
But Coral, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna hop off for a second because my cousin just got here, but I'll be back, ho.
You be back?
I'll be back, ho.
So yours, your biggest fan. This is Stan. Thank you for the Coral. Oh, dude, it's been a struggle. This is a rough month for me. Like, do these people have any sort of feelings? It just drives me nuts, man. Can't do anything, I swear. Yeah, you know what it is, Crystal? I'm already in a bad mental place, you know? I come out here and I was having a good time, and then it's just always something. What? I feel like I'm on here with friends. The fact that a kid has better logic than some of these adults is true. They are.
Dad, do you like Whoppers? Dad, do you like Whoppers?
People give what they can afford. It shouldn't be a matter. Yeah.
Do you like Tootsie
A
Rolls?
protection spell and a return back to sender.
Like
Yeah.
Tootsie Rolls?
I need that for sure. Binding spells like the craft bind you, Nancy, to do harm
Dad, little
against.
guy. Dad, little guy.
I will gift you white sage. Or
Oh, this is so much.
Are you going to smoke?
yeah,
Dad, this is
I'm definitely gonna go. I'm gonna get off of this thing in a minute.
What, dude?
Look how much Kit Kats.
That's ridiculous.
You can take the Kit Kats too.
You know, like Kit Kats.
I love Kit Kats. You can take the Reese's. I hate Reese's.
You have heard enough through the things got difference once you got some
Oh my God, Dad.
of your mods, but you need them. Have heard though that things got different once you got some of your mods, but you need them. Well, I don't know. I don't even.
Cheeseburger la.
Dexter's home.
Cheeseburger la, boom boom. Cheeseburger la. Cheeseburger la, boom boom.
People with negative energy are harboring all that inside their bodies. It's not good. It's true. FYJ, FYC. I think people are jealous because victims and others feel more comfortable talking to you than them. Yeah, but they don't, these guys don't do interviews. Like, they just don't. Oh, God.
Look at you, now look at me.
It is crazy, Sage. That's the problem. I ain't about doing all that. I'm not doing it. I didn't watch the whole video right at all. I'm just looking at this chat. Coral, have you ever checked out a book titled Cotton Mass Murders 1973? No. But that sounds interesting. Hold on, let me write that down. Is it like, can I get it on like like a Kindle, like one of those Kindle books? Mass Murders 1973.
The grandma Kindle
I don't
books?
know, but I ain't doing that to people for sure. You ordered it on Amazon? Okay. The energy in here is always top tier. That's why I come. Thank you. Coral Dexter is so beautiful. Go figure. Thank you so much, Graham. I appreciate that. Even when I look bummy and don't have makeup on and my hair's crazy and my depressed era, I appreciate it.
I just finished.
Don't let them break your spirit. Next subject. Don't waste any more of your energy. I need to wear an evil eye.
I'll take them out of the trash. Oh my god, I hate Whoppers. Those are absolutely disgusting. There's something wrong with you. Okay. I have a lot. Mom, look at this.
Killed my whole vibe. So if that's what you guys are planning on doing, you succeeded today. Only just because I'm already mentally beat down. But it's fine. Comes back around.
I'm gonna try Whopper. Wait, I need to get them out of the trash.
And I love y'all. I'm just gonna get off of this thing and go back to my hole where I was at. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And no, it's frustrating. You don't know my life, girl. I don't tell you a lot of things. And I want you to really mind your own business right now. I really do. I want you to mind your shit. Pick up your stuff. Don't leave your candy in my room where the dog can get to it. There's chocolate on the floor.
I know.
Well, I don't want him to get it. So pick that up.
I know, yeah.
It's all right, guys. I'll be okay. It's just been a rough couple days, month. Just seems to be, you know how it goes, life in general. And then that whole day yesterday was crazy. Ron's news. I felt like it's just not just me. It's like I absorb the energy of everybody around me too. People that are going through things on their own, like even Duty Ron's thing that hurt me, that hurt my heart. And then, it's just like every day, even I see when Allie's getting beat down, it just hurts me because I just don't like that for people. I don't like, it's like, have your opinions, but respectful about it. Just come in and say, I don't agree with you, Coral, because of this and this. Not like, I'm going to attack you and ruin your life. Like, it's just a little crazy to me. And like, that this is what it is. I don't like it at all. It's just, I just don't want to go back to middle school. It was already so terrible time. I miss you guys though. I'm gonna get off of here. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I'll probably come on tomorrow. I'll keep you posted. Hopefully I'll be in better spirits. But I'm gonna go relax. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to go put on a Halloween movie and watch something.
I'm gonna hop in your bed.
You ain't hopping in my bed. You were already in my bed yesterday, girl.
Oh, that sucks. I'm hopping in your bed.
She's not hopping in my bed. But I love you guys. I hope you have a good rest of your night. And I'm going to watch the movie or the video, but probably on my own. I hope you have a good rest of your night, guys. Talk to you soon.